Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be sitting down filming this video finally. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys baby girl's name. For those of you guys who are new here, we are due with our second baby girl in late June or beginning of July. So yeah, we've had her name actually for a while, like since we found out it was a girl we had her full name. And we've just kind of been waiting to tell you guys, but I'm ready to share it with you. Instead of just sharing her name, like I didn't really know how to do like a name video, I posted on Instagram asking you guys if you had any questions about baby number 2 or anything related to the topic, and I'm going to be doing a Q&A as well. So let's jump right in. Whoa, I almost just tipped over in my chair. That scared me. Okay, I have everything screenshotted on my phone. Let me pull those up. So I'm not going to make you wait at all. I'm going to go ahead and share her name right away with you. I do want to answer one of the questions, which was, is there any like meaning or anything behind her name? So there's not really any meaning behind her name. We didn't use like a family name or anything like that. We just found a name that we really liked. We wanted it to be unique, and I tend to like really girly names paired with something that's not as girly. So her first and middle name are going to be Elodie Wilder. We're gonna spell it E-L-L-O-D-Y. So one of you guys actually guessed E-L-O-D-Y on Instagram, which is generally pronounced Elodie. And that was the closest guess, obviously, that we got. Nobody actually guessed her name, but that one was very, very close. So her name is Elodie, and that's how we're going to say it. And that's why we have been calling her baby L. I've been calling her L, like the letter L, so that I wasn't like giving it too much away. But yeah, so obviously her first name is super girly and just like pretty sounding, and then Wilder is just like gives her that little bit of edge, that little spunk. I feel like Wilder is generally used for a boy name, so I just love the pairing. We like I said, knew as soon as we found out we were having a girl that that was going to be her name. It just seems like it fits, and we call her L. So yeah, I feel like she's gonna be little L Wild. That's probably what I'll call her. And I'm completely obsessed with her name. We feel like super connected to her, and we talk about baby L all the time. So that's her name, Elodie Wilder O'Connell. Okay, first question is, what's baby's room theme going to be? So I'm planning on having it be, as far as color, very like neutral with pops of like red, no, with pops of like light pink and like burnt orange, kind of like this sort of like browny orange, pinky neutral, mauvey tones, with like white and cream and things like that. Just very like natural, and that's kind of going to be her color theme. As far as like a theme, it's going to be just kind of like boho farmhousey chic. Yeah, I'll put up some like little pictures of inspiration from my Pinterest board to share with you guys of what we're kind of going off of for her room. It's a very temporary room here because we're in like a temporary apartment, but I still want it to be really cute, and you guys know I love to decorate, so I definitely have plans for her room. What is going on over here? Let me fix that. I can like never fully see what my hair is doing in the viewfinder, so then I go to edit and I'm like, nice. Okay, the next question is, how different / similar was your pregnancy compared to your pregnancy with Knox? I'm going to bundle this in with one of the other questions, which was what was the difference between having a girl pregnancy and a boy pregnancy. So as far as gender, I believe that every pregnancy is different, and maybe for some people when they have girls or girl pregnancies, they tend to be more sick and they tend to be more this and this and this, and then when they have boys it's like they're not as sick. And there's just all of these like not rumors, but like old wives' tales around, if you have a girl you're just going to be so sick, and if you have a boy it's going to be a breeze. And it was actually the opposite for me, and I didn't believe in those wives' tales anyway to begin with. I got a lot of like, oh, you're so lucky you're having a boy, that means you won't be sick, like all of that. And I was actually like much more sick with Knox than I was with L, or that I have been with L. I was a lot more tired with L, but that also could have something to do with running around after a toddler and just like living a different lifestyle now. I do feel like hormonally though more tired, if that makes sense, in my pregnancy with L. So with Knox, I was more sick in the first trimester. With Elle, I was more tired. I was a lot less nauseous with her though. I had less food aversions than I had with Knox. With Knox, I just like everything made me nauseous. I had all day sickness, like pretty much all day I was just like nauseous, and then there were certain hours of the day that I was like feeling like I was just holding back vomit. I like never ever throw up unless I have the puking flu. That's the only time in my entire life that I've ever thrown up, is if I'm actually like physically ill. So I never threw up with Knox. I never got like to that point. I just felt like I was gonna throw up all the time. With Elle, I would have waves of nausea like randomly. Like I'd have 3 days where I was fine, and then there would be like one day with like a 2 or 3 hour stretch that I was like, whew, I'm like wicked nauseous. It was a lot easier to deal with than my nausea with Knox. Other differences is this pregnancy has been a lot harder on my body. So yeah, like I'm just a lot more uncomfortable this time around. Like she gets up underneath my ribs, which I never had with Knox. She kicks it downwards, which is weird. Like Knox always kicked like to the sides or whatever, but she kicks downwards and it feels like her foot's gonna come out. So that's been kind of weird, but yeah, I'm just a lot more uncomfortable. My hips hurt, like things just kind of hurt a lot more than they did with Knox. I say that like I'm like hesitating because I do remember obviously having, you know, a lot of back pain and like pain in my knees and stuff, but this time it's just been worse. But yeah, I'm just learning to try to slow down, and I'm still just trying to take care of my body, drink a lot of water, eat, you know, as healthy as I can, and stay active. So far I would definitely say, as much as my pregnancies have been different, they have actually been similar. So that was interesting. Like in the beginning I'm like, these pregnancies are kind of similar for me, but anywho, I hope that answers that question. Next question is, this might sound strange, but nervous or anxious about splitting your love? Maybe not the right wording. So I totally know what you mean. Like a lot of people are like, don't you feel like you can never love another like you love your son? And yes, I totally like understand that, but at the same time I just feel like you just will, like you'll just love them the same, if that makes sense. So I'm not nervous or anxious about that. I was talking to Kyle the other night about how I was nervous about being able to soak her up. Like with your first baby, you have like all of this time to just sit and lay around and stare at your baby, which is the most amazing thing, and you don't have anything tugging you one way or the other. Whereas with baby number 2, you, at least for me, like obviously Knox isn't even 2 years old, he's going to be needing me and pulling me and wanting me, and I'm not going to be able to just sit with Elle and stare at her all day. So I did tell Kyle, I'm like, I just hope that I still get that time to like slow down and enjoy her being so little. So that is kind of like related to the question. But as far as like splitting my love or feeling like if my heart can handle, you know, another baby, I feel like my heart will just grow. Next question, and this is in a couple of people's questions, was home or hospital birth. So originally we wanted another hospital birth. I gave birth to Knox in a hospital. I wanted a natural labor in a hospital. So that was really tricky because we have a really big hospital here where we live. Even though we're in like a really small town, we are lucky to have a beautiful hospital. But it was very like by the book, and you get an IV, you get hooked up to this, you get, so I was kind of like, I don't need an IV, I've got nothing going on, I'm not high risk, I don't need to be hooked up to all this stuff, like he's fine, you know. So there was a lot of like pushback, and I had to really like be my own advocate, and Kyle had to be an advocate for me and be like, we don't need all this stuff, we are really just here to like birth our baby in a safe environment. With all of that said, we had a super positive experience in the hospital, but I will link my birth story down below because I didn't end up having a natural birth. At hour like 28, I think, I was like no longer progressing naturally. I was exhausted at that point, so I did end up getting an epidural, Pitocin. I slept for 4 hours, woke up at a 10, pushed him out. So anyway, that was just a quick recap of my labor with Knox. So with Elle, I kind of just wanted to labor in a hospital and try to do it natural again, but like I said, in a hospital. I just feel like more comfortable just in case something were to go terribly wrong, that we have everything that we would need. I've never really considered a home birth. I just haven't really thought about it. And recently with COVID-19 and everything going on, I'm like, I absolutely would consider having a home birth. So now we're actually like kind of looking into that and trying to figure out what we want to do. I'm a little bit hesitant because we're in a rental apartment right now. So that's why I'm kind of like wish-washy. We also would need a midwife, and we have 3 months left. So I know a lot of them are already booked up, but I kind of need to get on that and decide. So next question is baby girl going to be your last baby? No, We want more. If everything, you know, if we are lucky enough to have more, then yeah, she will not be our last baby. And any must-haves you realize that you will definitely need with number 2. So I think I'm gonna do like a totally different video on this topic and share like what we're getting for her and why, and all of that. So stay tuned for that. Any tips for newly pregnant mamas going through anxiety during this time? So I'm assuming that that question is in like reference to COVID-19 and being pregnant during such like a strange time. I would honestly say the best thing that you can do is relax. That's easier said than done, but just in general, when you're pregnant, stress is like one of the worst things for you. So as much as you can just relax, let be, let go, and if it's out of your control, you kind of just have to let it be. That's going to be the best thing for you. It's going to keep you less stressed out, and that's ultimately what you're trying to avoid is stress. You know, obviously take care of yourself, wash your hands, self-pamper as much as you can. Just really take care of yourself and try to enjoy your pregnancy. We cannot control the situation and what's going on and all of that, but you can always take care of yourself. And yeah, just remember that's super important and really all you can do right now. Next question is, what are you most excited about in having a girl? This is like so weird to me that we're having a girl. Like I still just it hasn't like fully hit me yet. I would say the most fun that I've had so far is like buying her clothes and planning her room. It's just like, it comes so much more natural to me. I'm just like a girly person, so getting her like florally outfits and you know, things with like ruffles and all of that has just been like so much fun. I also love thinking about having her as like a best friend when, you know, she's like older. I'm best friends with my mom and we like do everything together, so I just look forward to that so much. And I just love the idea of like going to pick out her prom dresses and, you know, going to get our hair done together and stuff like that. It's just something that I didn't know if I would ever have, and whew, I get a little choked up, but just really excited about stuff like that. I'm also really excited to do her hair. Like I always do my niece's hair when I see them, like I'll put them in pigtails or I don't know, do something cute, braid them and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to have a little girl so I can do her hair too. Next question is, I know you pictured yourself as a boy mom. How has it been getting ready and buying for baby L? So it's kind of like a similar question, but it's been amazing. It's been so fun. Obviously it's costed us more money because I feel like we need like different or more things for a girl. Obviously she needs clothing, so that's been like the biggest expense, but it has been like such a gift. I feel like I'm just enjoying every second of it. I love shopping for her and getting ready for her to come, and I love talking about her, and it's like weird for me to say her. I don't know, it's like such a magical feeling. And next question is, who do you think she will look like more, you or Kyle? So Knox right now literally looks like 50% me and 50% Kyle. So I feel like when people have a baby that looks just like the mom and then their second baby looks just like the dad, like we're not gonna have that because Knox just looks so much like both of us that I feel like baby L, even if she looks just like me, she's gonna look like Knox, and then if she looks just like Kyle, she's gonna look like Knox. So all I'm picturing is a baby that looks a lot like Knox. So yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of feel like she'll look a little bit more like me, and I don't know if that's just because she's a girl. But yeah, I really just think she's gonna look like Knox. Next question, I'm so excited. How does Knox feel about his sister coming soon? So he seems to be really excited and understanding of the whole thing. He always wants to kiss my belly and rub my belly, and it's the most precious thing in the world. It's so funny too because he won't kiss my belly like through my shirt. He has to lift up my shirt, pull down my maternity leggings, and like kiss the bare skin. Like he's gonna be like right up in her grill already, and I know he's gonna be like that when she's here. We have a little nephew who's 6 months old, and anytime Knox sees him, he's like crawling on top of him, wants to be in his swing, in his car seat, like in his clothing. He's obsessed with him, and he'll like crouch down and like, I don't know, try to talk to him, and it's just so cute. He tries to put his binky in, and he's just adorable with him. So I look forward to seeing him with Elle. Also, every single night before bed, I say, I love you, good night, and then he'll say, Dada, and I say, Dada loves you, and he'll say, Brax, which he calls him that. So he's like, that? I'm like, Braxton loves you, Mama loves you, and then he'll say, baby, baby L? And I'm like, yes, baby L loves you. So he knows that it's like a separate person, or maybe he thinks she's a dog. I don't know. But I think he is going to be the best big brother, and obviously things are going to be hard and there's going to come with challenges. You know, it's going to come with challenges, but yeah, I think he is excited and I think he will be obsessed with her. Next question is, do you have any worries about adding another little to the family? So this was in a couple people's questions. I'm not like nervous about adding another baby to the family. I am a little bit nervous about just like the transition, I guess. But to be fair, like we have a very, very solid schedule. Like I am such a routine person. I think there's so much value in a routine. And I know as your family grows, like your routine probably becomes a lot more lackadaisical. With more kids comes a lot, you know, more interruption or possibility for your routine to fail. And I totally understand that. So with one baby, I think it's pretty easy to develop a routine and like all of that. So I feel like we're just gonna kind of like throw her in with our routine, and obviously she's gonna need different things, and we'll work those into our routine, so our routine will change. But I think that that's really going to save us. I think that if we had like no routine with Knox, or we were very like spontaneous with like his nap times or bedtimes or meal times, anything like that, it would probably be a lot harder to add another baby in, because I feel like it would just be complete chaos. But we're truly just going to try to carry on with our lives as they are now and kind of swing her right on into things. Obviously there's going to be all the nighttime feedings, because I plan to breastfeed again, and all of that. I'm gonna be so tired, I'm sure, from being up all night. That's something that I'm nervous about, is just not getting my sleep again. Knox is a great sleeper right now. You know, it's been like a long time coming, and you finally get your baby to sleep, and then you're like, come to the realization that you're having another baby and you're not gonna be sleeping anymore. So that's probably the one thing that I'm like the most anxious about, is I'm like, oh, if I can just sleep, I can get through the day. But if I'm exhausted, it's so hard to deal with, you know, everything that comes along with having a toddler and then a newborn on top of that, and breastfeeding and everything. I am also a little bit anxious about figuring out my pump schedule. In the beginning with Knox, I was so full. Like I was overproducing like crazy. All the doctors told me not to pump, and I like literally felt like I couldn't listen to them. I had to pump a little bit. I felt like I couldn't even move without my boobs feeling they were gonna burst all over the place. So TMI. But I'm a little bit anxious about like fitting that into our schedule, because that's not something that's in our schedule right now. So we'll see, and maybe I won't be like as full this time around. For the most part, honestly, I'm not super anxious about it. I just don't look forward to being tired again. Also, so thankful that we're having her in the summer, because Knox loves being outside. I love being outside, and we can just kind of like go and sit, and he can play and get his energy out. And just getting outdoors, I feel like, is so mentally like helpful. So yeah, I'm really thankful that we'll be able to get out for walks and things like that. Next question, favorite shops for girl clothing. So I love H&M for baby clothes in general. I love the quality of them. I think the price point is really good. Obviously there's some stuff on there that's really expensive, but for the most part, I think their prices are really good. I also like Pat. They have like really, really unique, inexpensive options, and we have a few outfits from there for Knox, and the quality, at least on what we got, has been like impeccable. Really, really, really good. And he has like worn that stuff time and time again, and it just washes and wears like amazing. I'm trying to think of where else. I'm a new girl mom over here, so I don't really know. If you guys actually want to leave comments down below on affordable shops for baby clothes. Yeah, so if you guys have any recommendations for shops, I would really appreciate it. I love Target for boy and girl clothing. I think Target is like a great go-to. I don't usually find stuff like online, I don't know why, but in person, I love their Art Class brand. Oh my gosh, so cute. Oh my gosh, this question is so cute. Are you going to have her wear big bows? Yes, I am. I have like a couple on our registry and like in our cart on Amazon and stuff. Just some like comfy ones, like the really soft ones. I don't like the ones with like the thin band. I feel like that would like indent her head or something. I don't know, maybe that's just like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I like the thicker ones. They just look like more comfy, and yeah, I love bows, so she'll probably be wearing a bow. Next question is, are you getting a double stroller? Are you nervous about going shopping with 2 babies? So I'm sure my shopping will probably be cut down quite a bit. I'm not nervous about it. I'm more nervous about going shopping with them when Elle's like 8 months old or so, because that's when Knox started to get like hard to shop with. Other than that, I feel like I'll just put her in our boppy comfort carrier and like carry her around, and then Knox usually runs around, or he'll sit in the cart for like 5 or 10 minutes. He's the hardest kid to shop with as it is, so I'm not super nervous about that. Like I said, until Elle gets older, like if they're both running around, then like that ain't gonna happen. And the other part of that question was, are we getting a double stroller? So we're so lucky. I'm working with one of my friends who lives in Boston. She's incredible. I love her. I used to work with her when I lived there, and she is now working at Tadpole in Boston, and it's like a baby store. They have like the cutest stuff. They have pretty much like, I feel like everything you would need. There is a company that we're going to be working with to get a double stroller, so that will be something that I will probably include in that video where I talk about baby products for baby number 2. So yeah, stay tuned for that, but we will definitely be getting a double stroller, and I'm super excited and thankful to be working with them. She sent me a picture of the stroller, and it is like stunning. It's beautiful. I literally cannot wait. The next question is, how long have you been trying for her? The biggest difference between your pregnancies. So I obviously already answered the second part of that question. How long had we been trying for Elle? So just a little bit of background with Knox. We got pregnant in, we got married in July, and then I went off birth control like as soon as we were married. We went on our honeymoon right after, and then we were going to wait the 6 months that was recommended because we had gone to the Dominican, and there was, I forget what it's even called now. All I can think of is the coronavirus, which obviously isn't it. It was something else. What is that called? Anyway, I can't remember. So it's recommended that you wait 6 months after you travel. So that's what we were going to do. We were going to try in like January or February, I think. And we ended up getting pregnant in November. So I went off birth control, but I was tracking my cycles, and we were kind of like avoiding that week period where you're like super fertile, and that worked for us. We actually didn't avoid that week, and the first time we didn't avoid that week, we got pregnant with Knox. So we kind of had a feeling that we might get pregnant fast. But obviously with your, like, you never know if you just got lucky or how it will be with your second baby and if things have changed and all of that. So with Elle, we were going to Mexico for vacation, and I was like, should we just start trying on vacation? Like, when do you want to, you know, start trying? And he was like, yeah, I mean, this is like a good time. We might as well try when we're on vacation. Like, it'll be fun, like whatever. There's no stress around it. We'll just like come back and maybe we'll be pregnant. So yeah, the whole week we were just kind of like having fun and enjoying each other and all of that. And it was funny because that Wednesday that we were in Mexico, I was like super crampy on one side, and I was like, I'm pregnant. Like, I know I'm pregnant. I just knew it. We got home, I texted my brother's girlfriend Emily, and I was like, I'm sure that I'm pregnant. Like, I was literally not, like, I was probably a week pregnant, and I just knew. I just like felt it. It was so weird. Yeah, we were lucky enough that just a few weeks after that I took a test and I was pregnant, and everything went well. And I was like in tears last night, or I had tears in my eyes talking to Kyle about this, and it happens so often. I'm like, do you even like realize how lucky we are? Like, do you realize how lucky we are to, one, get pregnant so fast, to have 2 pregnancies so far that have been low risk, no problems, like no miscarriages. I just can't, I literally can barely talk about it because I cannot imagine, and I understand that women go through the most tragic things trying to have children, and it makes my heart like rip into a million pieces. And I'm so thankful because with both of our babies, like, it happened like that, like almost effortlessly, and it's just so sad to me that it's not that way for everyone. So yeah, we're so lucky that we did get pregnant the first time we tried for baby number 2. With baby number 3, we will definitely be like assuming that I will get pregnant very fast, so I feel like we'll be able to plan for baby number 3 even like more. With Elle, we were kind of like, well, why don't we start trying now, because if it takes 4 to 6 months, like that would be like good timing. And then it happened right away, and I was like, well, shit. So the next question is, will you be sharing the middle name too? So obviously I shared that, but the next part of her question is, what is Knox's middle name? So Knox's middle name is the same as Kyle's, and Kyle's middle names are the same as his father's. So it's like a family name. They have 2 middle names. So Kyle's name is Kyle Joseph Martin O'Connell. So Knox's name is Knox Joseph Martin O'Connell, which is really cute. So yeah, that one obviously has like meaning behind it, and it's carrying on a family name, which is really cool. How have you been preparing Knox for baby girl? Honestly, we just talk about her a lot. We like to keep things like as organic as possible in all of our ways of teaching him things. So when she comes up in conversation, we talk about her. We show him like her room, or if he like, sometimes he'll go in her room and like pull something out of her dresser. I'm like, did you get baby girl, like baby sissy's you know, onesie or whatever, and we just talk about her and include him in our conversation. As it comes closer, I think we will start to prepare him maybe a little bit differently. I have become a little bit more like adamant on him independently playing at certain times, because I know that's going to be something that he's going to have to learn when she gets here. So lately I've been like, you know, I'm busy right now, give me 5 more minutes or something like that, just so that he's getting used to having to wait and not having me, you know, do everything right then and there for him, which has been a struggle and a lot of tantrums, but I think it'll be good for him. Someone asked, are you excited to dress a girl? Absolutely, so excited. I think it will be a lot more fun, in my opinion. I know that people who have like all girls are like, I just want a boy so I can dress him. So it's probably like whatever you don't have, you kind of like think it would be fun to dress them, but so excited to dress a girl. Someone asked, how are you feeling with all the craziness going on in the world while being pregnant? So thank you so much for asking. I actually made a post about this on my Instagram, which if you guys don't follow me, I'll leave my Instagram handle down below. But honestly, like with this pregnancy, I haven't had any anxiety with birth or labor or anything like that. And just recently, with everything getting as serious as it has, and like our town pretty much going on lockdown and like all of that, I've noticed that I am getting very anxious about giving birth. One, because I'm afraid of being in a hospital right now. Like I shouldn't say afraid. It's uncomfortable to think about being in a hospital right now. 2, it's uncomfortable to think about the fact that I might only be able to have one person in there with me. That's the circumstance for us right now. That could obviously get better. It could get worse. I know that there's tons of women who have recently given birth alone, which I think one is incredible, because we were made to do this, and don't fear that. If that is your situation right now, do not fear that, because we were made for this. And one of you guys on Instagram made a huge point that I absolutely loved. I hope that anyone who saw this post read her comment, but she said, you're not alone, you have your baby. So that is so true. You're not alone in giving birth. It's a teamwork between you and your baby. So you're not alone, but I know how hard it must be, especially if it's your first baby, to even comprehend like doing that without your spouse. So yeah, anxiety around that has developed. Also, I've had anxiety about like my family not being able to meet her when she gets here, like having to still be on quarantine, or you know, not being able to allow anyone to hold her and stuff when she first arrives. Like that makes me really sad, and obviously it's causing me anxiety to think about right now. So, I mean, I'm doing like as well as I think you can. I'm still like enjoying my pregnancy. I love being pregnant, and I get all teary-eyed all the time thinking about not having her all to myself anymore, and like, you know, not having her in my belly. Like, obviously, like the situation adds like a whole new thing to being pregnant. But I'm hopeful, and you know what, like I said earlier, it's out of my control. There's only so much I can do, so I'm continuing to take care of myself and just focus on what we can control. So the next question is, how are you curbing pregnancy cravings? So in the beginning is when I had like my mostly like intense cravings, which was for like chocolate milk and mac and cheese. Like I pretty much just wanted to eat like a little kid. I wanted chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate milk. And honestly, if my craving was that intense, I let myself eat it. I kind of knew that generally in the first trimester, like you just need to get through it, and you just don't feel well, you're exhausted, whatever. So I just kind of let myself have it when I wanted it. With that said, I didn't eat it like 3 meals a day, but if I made the baby chicken nuggets, I'd let myself have a couple just to kind of hit that craving. But for the rest of my pregnancy, I am just like, I try to be really cautious about what I eat. But if I want ice cream, I'll have like 2 or 3 bites like right out of the container instead of making like a big bowl. So I like let myself have it, but I don't let myself go overboard. If I'm really craving a Blizzard, I'll get one, and then I like won't get one for like a week or 2. So I try to be really like strategic and make sure that it's like I really want it right now, because otherwise I could like easily eat just like a Blizzard every single night for dinner, or eat ice cream every night for dinner. So yeah, I think it's just about trying to find a balance and allowing yourself to have things that you're craving, because you want to enjoy your pregnancy. And it is obviously fun to like give into your cravings, especially like sometimes your cravings are so intense, you like literally mentally and physically feel like you cannot say no. So I don't think it's really fair to just like cut yourself off from all your cravings and all of that. I think it's important, like I said, find balance, let yourself have it sometimes, but obviously don't overindulge. Something else that I found that has helped like immensely is if I'm having a craving and I can't stop thinking about it, drink a glass of water, like a small glass of water, and then see how you feel after. Sometimes your craving will go away. Sometimes you realize you weren't even hungry, you were just thirsty. And I just feel like that really helps me determine, like, am I really craving this? Do I really want this right now? Or am I just kind of like bored and thinking about food? So that is one of my big tips. So the next question is, any tips and tricks on solely breastfeeding? So with this one, I feel like you just really have to stick with it. So you have to get through like those first 2 weeks and figure out like what works for you guys, what works for the baby, and you kind of have to get into like the flow of things. And just do not give up on yourself. Don't give up on the baby. If you really want to breastfeed for a long period of time and you know your body is functioning the best that it can and the baby is responding well, you know, if all circumstances are going well, I understand that there's certain things that don't allow you to breastfeed or, you know, all of that. But if everything is going well, then I think you just cannot give up on it, because it is very, very hard. So it's easy to kind of be like, this is too hard. Like, I don't want the pressure. I just want to bottle feed, which a fed baby is a fed baby. If your baby is eating, you're doing a good job. So it doesn't matter. But if you want to breastfeed, then you just have to stick with it. And eventually, I feel like it just becomes like easy. I shouldn't say easy, but it just becomes part of your day. It becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your routine. And it's just like, it is what it is. You just become like a pro at it, and you know your baby, you know how they like to be held and all of that. So just stick to it. Drink a ton of water. Like, pretty much just don't let your straw leave your lips the entire day. That is like the number one thing for me. If I would drink like an entire glass of water, it would be like an hour later, I'd be like full. So just drink a lot of water. Coconut water helped me too, and oatmeal also helped me make sure my milk production stayed strong. With that said, you do have to eat often too, because you have to, you know, be taking in water and calories to produce milk. So just make sure you're like snacking, like have a banana and some crackers or whatever, like something quick, at least get calories into your body often. Otherwise your milk supply kind of like dips, and you know, it makes sense because you need calories to make the milk. Next question, will you be vlogging her arrival? Yes, I hope to have like a full labor and delivery vlog. Tips and advice for people trying to conceive. This is so hard. I kind of feel like not qualified to even answer this, because we hadn't really tried, we've never really like been trying to conceive. It's always just happened so quickly for us. But what I would say is try to relax, try to enjoy the process, because it really is a magical thing, like knowing that you and your partner are trying to have a baby. You know, that whole feeling can kind of like fade, I'm sure, the longer that you're trying, and it just becomes probably so emotional and hard. So in the beginning, when you're thinking about trying to conceive and all that, I feel like just relax and try to enjoy the process, because it really is amazing. My second advice is I use the Ovia ovulation app, and it helps you track your ovulation. So for me, it was spot on both times, like spot on. So I really feel like if you have a regular cycle, you might be able to track your cycle and figure out when you're most fertile. That I would highly, highly, highly recommend. It just kind of like kept me on track and made me much more aware of what was going on in my body. So I will leave a link to that down below, or like info about that down below for you, but highly recommend that. Okay, these next two questions, what do you recommend for a pregnancy pillow? Kyle got me one for Knox. He ordered it off of Amazon. I'm not sure which one it is. I wish I did, and I loved it with his pregnancy, but with this pregnancy I haven't used it like at all. It's just so big, and I don't know, with Knox's pregnancy I swore by it. I said I could not sleep without it. With Elle, I've just been putting a pillow between my legs, like a queen size pillow between my knees, and that helps me sleep at night. That's all I need, and that's what I've been doing. As far as maternity clothes, I don't buy a ton of maternity clothes. I do like Target's like basics, like their tanks and tees and things like that. Well, I have a black tank on from Target right now. They're just like unbelievably stretchy, and yeah, just so comfy, good quality, good fit, and a good price point. So I wear those a lot with like little things to like throw over like a denim button up or something like this. As far as maternity jeans, I love the brand. I think it's like Alex and Ava, or Ava and Alex or something, but I can only find them at Burlington. I can't even find them online, so that's frustrating. I do like Target's leggings. Target's maternity jeans don't fit me for some reason. Even like their size 2 is just like very, very, very big in the front, and like in the hips and stuff. So I don't know, maybe I do like the quality of them, and I always think the styles are super cute. I did recently order some Rockstar jeans from Old Navy that are maternity, and I do really like those. I got those in my normal size, and I'll link them down below. I got like black ripped jeans, but those seem really nice. I really just bought like basics, like a basic tank bodycon dress in maternity. I got 2 from Old Navy. I think they also have them at Target, but yeah, I feel like if you want to buy maternity clothes, just buy like your very basics, the things you need. You know, a pair of jeans, a pair of leggings, a couple of tank tops, some fitted dresses, and then the rest you can just like accessorize. Throw on some big earrings with a tank top and some jeans, or you know, like I said, kimono, denim jackets, like things you can throw over and then just wear a tight tank underneath. That way you're not spending a ton of money on maternity clothes. Also, buying trendy maternity clothes I feel like doesn't make sense, because by the time you're pregnant again, the trend's gonna be like out and it'll be something new. So just buy basics. Okay, that is absolutely it for the questions, guys. I'm sorry, I feel like this is gonna be the longest video ever. My Q&As, I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna keep them short and sweet, and I'm just not. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of baby girl's name down below, and I hope you guys are all doing well in this time. Thank you for everyone who is kind of on the front line of this thing and still out working. I can't imagine how hard it is. Like, my heart goes out to you guys, especially if you have families and you're like a nurse and you're coming home fearful that you know, you're going to contaminate your home and stuff. And just like really thankful that we are able to stay home and safe and all of that. So thank you to everyone who, like I said, is on the front line of this, and I hope you guys are all well and safe, and I love you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.